There have been some great comments from the last couple of videos about these straw cells, and there have also been a couple of really neat ideas which we'll have a look at today in this video. Welcome to a third video about these straw cells, and that's where we take apart something like an old AA or a AAA carbon zinc one. We take out the carbon rod, we cut down the zinc, and then wrap a piece of paper around, put it inside a piece of straw, and then dip in an electrolyte, something like even rainwater, use tap water or vinegar. We end up being able to run small devices. It's a bit of fun and certainly well worth trying out some experiments with these kind of things. So those experiments are what I was asking in the last video whether people would like to see some more of, and that's what I'll be doing. Now, one thing has been that people have made me aware that plastic straws, of course, are not available everywhere, and I wondered about the paper ones, but apparently the glue smells quite a lot on those. Someone pointed that out. So I thought, well, you know, pen tubes maybe, similar size, you know, to the straw. Use the inside of a pen that's run out of ink. Here's another one, there we go. Or even something like this inhaler type thing here, vapour inhaler. You could use that tube part there. I'm sure there's quite a few things in the house that you could use. Now, one thing while doing some research was that it was pointed out that there are better ways of transferring the charge across than using regular copier paper. And one of those things would be to use a coffee filter. Well, I've actually not checked that we've got any. Yeah, here we have. Okay. So, oh, right, I've got a load of them. Okay, so I'll get one of these out. There we are, and what I'll quickly do is to make another cell, but instead of using copier paper, I'll use this. So here we have a carbon rod from inside a AA, and also a strip of the zinc from the outside casing. I've cut a strip of this coffee filter now. I'm not sure how much I'll need because it is going to be thinner material, isn't it, than the copier paper, but I'll come back. I think that's the longest I could get anyway, and we'll see how that goes on. When I'm wrapping these individually, I'll wrap a few turns around the carbon rod first and then finish off on the zinc. And in fact, you know, that's not too bad. It will actually go into the straw. So I've used the whole of the length across of the widest part of a regular coffee filter. So there we are, maybe a tip, maybe not. Point is, it does go in. So next thing I'll do, I'll cut it down when I put this all the way in. We'll cut down to wherever it ends up. And there we go. The whole thing's done now. We've now got that cell. It could sit in a cupboard for many years if I wanted, ready to be activated. Or, what I think I'm going to do now, I think I'll put these leads onto this, and then we'll dip it into that there, which is actually vinegar at the moment, but it can be just normal rainwater from outside, and we'll see if this starts up. So there we go, that's the old one disconnected. Here's the new one now connected. Obviously the screen isn't going. Right, let's see if we can get that in shot first. Okay, and now if I dip this in here, maybe, there we go. It's activated, it's running, and it was as simple to make as that. We've now got ourselves another straw cell, and this time it's running by using a coffee filter. Now that should actually carry on running, that screen now, until that dries out, which could be 2 or 3 days. And well, we might as well leave this running for the rest of the video now. On to the next experiment. Now we'll use this flat cell for this. I'll see what's on it. Oh, 0.326. So yeah, very, very flat. And that kind of thing won't even run a joule thief, and that's the point of these experiments. That, you know, what you do after something's gone too flat to run even a joule thief. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the top part, and then I'm going to try and put this into this vinegar solution here. As we've seen, it's strong enough to start this one going, but will we get anything more than the 0.3 of a volt if this has soaked in some of that electrolyte instead? That could be interesting. So I'm going to use these snips. I'm going to go around the outside at the top, pull off this piece of metal here, this aluminium type of piece here, or maybe steel, and expose the carbon rod. But what it'll also do is it'll expose the manganese dioxide which is inside, and that will be what we'll be using. Dip into there and see if we can get anything more than the 0.3 volts. Just while I've been doing this, I've realised that maybe I could have put a hole in the side. I could have drilled a hole with a Dremel into the side of it, maybe something like that, and it would have made things a bit easier. But I'll carry on doing it the original way. There we go, I've now removed the top. You can see the carbon rod and you can see the material in there. So what I'll do next, I'll pop this in here and I'll leave it a few minutes like that to soak in, and then we'll come back and see what the voltage reads. Oh, and by the way, this idea came from a person with a great posting name, no underscore oh no. So thanks to him, that's why we're doing this one. Well, I've left it for about 20 minutes now, and he did say it could take days to soak in, but I'm just kind of intrigued whether we've got more than 0.3. So I'll take it out, connect it up, and let's see. Okay, well, I've got the red on the end there on the carbon. So let's see. I mean, this has only been a few minutes, and we put that on the end. 0.7, 0.8. We're up to 0.8. And that's just after a few minutes. It makes me wonder whether I should just drop it in there and leave it at least a day or so and see if it further improves. But you can see there, 0.802. So it appears to be climbing. That's kind of surprised me, that. I will drop it in there, I think, and leave it some more. So there we go. Take this connector back off. Drop it in such that we've got the correct end in there, and just leave it. And perhaps just putting a hole in the side, drilling a hole in the side and doing this same kind of thing might well work. I wouldn't put it into any device afterwards, of course, you know, but you know, certainly connecting up with a couple of clip leads might be the way. Alright, now here we have another depleted cell. No good for even running a joule thief, you know, the standard fare now. And this pushes that idea even further. This is another one that's been, a couple of people have said. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take the top off again. But what we're going to do is remove the carbon rod, then remove the manganese dioxide from inside, such that we've just got the rod and the outer zinc casing. Then we're going to see if we can put, well, I think I'll use this again. We'll use the coffee filter. Wrap that around and see whether we get any decent results like that, such that the cell itself is practically still an AA, rather than becoming a smaller straw cell that's more like a AAA. So again, I'll get these pliers onto this and I'll come back when I've removed the top. Right, so that's the old mixture out of there. It actually feels very light, this case now, but of course it would do. What I'm going to do is to put some of the coffee filter at the bottom to make sure it's separated, make sure that this carbon rod doesn't touch the bottom, and then wrap lots of this coffee filter around such that it's a snug fit into the tube. There we go, that's basically the rest of that coffee filter. Seems to have done, you know, I've not done it perfectly, but that seems to be quite a good width. I'll pop it into there next. And yes, that's gone in fine. There we go. And by keeping this little piece here, we've managed to electrically separate the two of them. But also, we've left quite the area there, such that I can put some of this salt and vinegar solution onto it, and we can see if it activates. And we'll swap over from this one, which we've seen working all the time, absolutely no issues, and see if this idea works at all. And one thing to check before we do that is the voltage on this now. Has it climbed anything above 0.802? Let's find out. And the voltage on this one, is it any higher? Yeah, yes it is, 0.909. So I dare say yes, if it was left even longer, it would climb even higher. Right, onto this one that now should be soaked. First of all, for this one, let's see its voltage. Oh yes, there we go, 1.464 or 465, still climbing a little bit itself. And now let's try it on that. We've just seen the voltage, so it should work. Let's have a look. And there we go. Yep, no issues at all. 52% humidity, 68.3 Fahrenheit. So, you look at it that way. Another dead cell that couldn't even run a joule thief is now running this sensor. And it will run something like this calculator for about the next 3 days. In fact, probably longer, considering that it's more enclosed. Finally, back to that straw cell, which is still running this really quite nicely. But we've seen a couple of different methods now of how to reuse batteries that would definitely be normally thrown away. You know, not even 0.5 volts, can't run a joule thief, can't do anything with them. So it's been some fun to reuse the internals and make things like this as well, which is really, that is about as little as you can do to an AA. Just take the top off and soak it in the solution. And back it comes to be slightly useful, certainly to run things like that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed these experiments, it's been quite some fun. And I'll see you in the next video.